Hey guys, I am the Comics Kid 2099 and I wanted to talk a little bit about romantic relationships in sitcoms. Last week I did a missed opportunities video on Smallville, and I talked a little bit about Clark and Lana and Lois and kind of that little love triangle that was going on for about 80% of the show until finally Lana Lang reared her ugly head for the last time. I just want to make clear, I don't actually think that Kristen Kruk is ugly, but the character of Lana was one that I never really cared about, so I wasn't especially upset to see that character go when she finally left the series for good. So this video is related to that a little bit. I want to talk about TV shows that are typically about two main characters, and over the course of the series, the goal is to get these two characters together. Now, I can't actually think of a good example of a show that did this. There are many different problems with this kind of show. You take a look at the TV series Friends. That show started off being about Ross and Rachel, but by the end of season 1, those two were basically kind of sorted together, and then by the end of season 2, they realized, hey, we can't keep these two together because stories come from conflict. You have to have conflict in your stories, so we have to find some way to break these two up, but the whole show was about, are these two going to end up together? So what you have with Friends, they lasted for 10 years, and for most of that show, these two are bouncing back and forth between being together and being not together. So by the time the series ended, I really didn't care anymore because they had been not together and together so many times that I felt like a week after the series finale, they were going to not be together once again. And so a show like Friends really demonstrates the crucial problem with any TV show where the crux of the series is, are these two going to get together, and seeing that slow build-up of their relationship over the whole series. No TV show knows how long they are going to last. They may have plans for a 5-year series, but the series may get canceled in season 3, or they may get canceled halfway into season 1. So if you wait too long, you might get canceled, and then the series is going to look like it didn't matter at all because the two characters who the audiences are rooting for, they're not going to get together because the people behind the show, they waited too long and they didn't get their characters together soon enough. Or if you have a show like Friends where the two main characters get together relatively early in the series, then you have a show that lasts for 10 years and they don't really know what to do with it. And I wish that I had something that I could say where I can say, hey, this is what they need to do. This will solve all of their problems. Because there really isn't a solution to this kind of problem. If you are going to make a show where the end game is getting two characters together, you're going to have any number of problems that are going to get in the way of that. This whole idea really occurred to me when I've been watching the TV show New Girl. Last week I talked about that a little bit and how it is one of my favorite sitcoms right now. The problem I am now having, as I'm about 3-ish episodes into season 3, is that Jess and Nick are together now, and I'm afraid that this show is going to go one of two ways. One, these two are going to break up and get back together and break up and get back together, kind of like Friends, if this show lasts much longer. Or the show is just going to kind of take a nosedive in quality because the end game has already been achieved. And if they want to last much longer, they're going to have to find some other end game for the show to be about. And right now, it's not really looking like they're going to find anything anytime soon. One thing I haven't covered is the artistic integrity of shows. If you have a show like New Girl where the two characters get together by the end of season 2, you could have the option of the people behind the show saying, okay, our story that we wanted to tell has been told, so now we're going to end the show. The problem with that is nobody in Hollywood is going to deliberately end their show if the network is willing to run the show longer. If they can get more money out of their show, they are going to get more money out of their show. It's sad, but it's true. This, I feel, is the main reason why we've had so many seasons of How I Met Your Mother. Toward the end of season 7, I realized that that entire season was completely useless because all of the relationships that we were seeing growing in that season, we found out that they meant absolutely nothing because two of the characters were going to get married even though both of them had basically closed the door on that relationship. So I felt like all of season 7 was basically just biding its time, waiting for stuff to happen in the future, but nothing really important was happening in the show during that season. Another example I can think of comes from the TV show Cheers, which I've talked about in the past in a video. I think I titled it, "Why Do People Want Their TV Shows to Jump the Shark?" In Cheers, you had Sam and Diane. They both worked together at this bar called Cheers. Sam really likes Diane. Diane really likes Sam. This is evident about halfway into season 1. So it's very clear very quickly that these guys are either going to drag this out for 9 years, or they're going to set this up pretty early and then they're not going to know what to do. Well, you have a third option. As it turns out, the actors who are in your show, they may not want to stay for as long as the show is going to run. The actress who played Diane, she eventually left, and then we replaced her, I think, once or twice with other actresses who came to work at the bar. So then the whole crux of the series, are Sam and Diane going to get together? That's basically shot to heck because Diane's no longer here, and nobody wants to see Sam get with this other lady who's basically a replacement Diane because we don't know who this woman is. We spent like 6 years with Diane. We don't want to see Sam get with some girl who's only there because Diane's not there. So what do you guys think? Can you think of a really good example of a TV show where the whole center of the show is, are these two characters going to get together? And then if they are going to get together, seeing that relationship blossom and turn into something that we really love and we really root for? If you can think of a good example of that, let me know in the comments below. I admit I am not an expert on all things television, but everything that I can think of, I can probably think of some ways where it could have been better in retrospect. And that is really important because, like I said, nobody can know, okay, our show is going to last 9 or 10 years. So they have to do the stories as they think that they need to be done at the time that they need to be done. So if you get a couple of characters together in season 2, that might feel like the thing that you need to do then, because if you don't, people are going to accuse you of dragging your feet and keeping the main story from happening when it really could have happened a lot earlier. So this really is a no-win situation if you ask me. But maybe you guys can think of some examples that I could not think of that really did avoid this whole phenomenon. I am curious. I would like for you to tell me in the comments below. And if you liked this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I will be back tomorrow with some other kinds of videos. Until then, I will see you guys later. Have a good day.